Hello, my name is Sam, welcome back. So when we left off, we had just, what had we done? We made an importer and imported all of the questions. So now we have like 4,000 questions. We also added answers, so now you can see the answers to the questions. So that's nice. The problem is that if I reload the page, since we have so many more questions now, it takes a while. And it's real slow. So I kind of want to spend a minute to investigate that and see if we can make it better. So if I open up, so I have a couple theories. I'm wondering if it's like, it could be that it takes a while. So it could be that we get the data back real fast from the server, and then it takes a while to render it. And that would lead us to one approach to solving the problem, or it could be that it takes a while. It's just taking a long time to get the data from the server, and that would lead us to a different approach to solving the problem. But we should be able to see that by looking at the, not the sources tab, the network tab. If I hit reload, so it's making some requests. It's taking a while, and then, oh yeah, here we go. So this green bar, so it seems like this green bar is the, where is it? It's the time it takes to get the response. Yeah, here when we call questions.json, that's what took a long time. So and then once we had it, it seemed like it was pretty quick to actually render the page. So that makes me think the problem is that we're requesting all of this data all at once. So I think what we want to do is add pagination. If we look in our controllers, instead of doing .all, we do like .first 20. Does that make things faster? It does. It makes things a lot faster. So now instead of taking like, what was it, 5,000 milliseconds, it takes 500 milliseconds, which is a lot better. So yeah, so Rails, there's a gem that we can use that makes pagination easier that I was kind of looking at before. So .paginate, and what this lets us do is pass in a page number, and then it'll display the 30 records for that page. I think the default, yeah, per page is, the default is 30, I believe. But we can also change that. So if you want 10 per page, you can pass in per page. But I think 30 is fine for the per page number. We can pass in the page. Let's try adding this to our controller. So instead of .first, we can use .paginate. Oh, I haven't added this to my gem file yet. So we'll also have to do that. So gem will paginate. Go to the gem file and stick it. Yeah, I don't know. Stick it here. So this is pagination gem to make things faster. Cool. And I need to run bundle install to install that. Bundle install. This, yeah. Bundle complete. Cool. So I was adding it to my gem file. I mean my controller. So here, doing .paginate, I should be able to reload and get a much faster response. So this is excellent, right? Because that was a lot faster. We can see, right, this request happened in 200 milliseconds. The problem is that now we can only see Well, yeah. So the issue is that we were only seeing the first page, right? Because we're not passing in a page number. I think, let's play around with this. If we do, yeah, I was playing around with it before, as you can see. So I pass in page 3 as a parameter, and it gets me page 3. If I pass in page 4, it gets me the next page. And it looks like it was incrementing by 30 per page. So like the next page should be 125 here. If I do page 5, 124. Maybe I deleted a question somewhere. But yeah, that's roughly 30 per page. By the way, I installed this plugin for Chrome, JSON view, to make it easier to see what's going on in the JSON. So that's nice. Okay, so we can pass the page number as a parameter, which we'll want to do when we make the fetch in our, that method is here in our body, right? Yeah, questions.json. So what we can do is like page equals, and I think we'll have, what we'll do is we'll have some state for the page. So it'll be like this dot plus this dot state dot page, and we want that to start at 0. So we'll, in our constructor, we'll add that to our initial state. Page. We want it to start at 1, not 0. I'm pretty sure, right? Because when we saw, let me see, what happens if we request page 0? Does it break? I bet it does. Oh, yeah, internal server error, invalid page. Okay, so we want to start with 1, and not 0. And then, so is this all still working? Yeah, that looks good. Cool. What's next? So what I think right now we're doing the fetch when the component mounts, but with this pagination, what we'll want to do is call fetch when we so what we'll do, the sort of overall goal is to have a next button and a previous button, so we can like click those and go to the next page. And what we'll want to do is call this fetch when we click those buttons. So I'm going to refactor this out into another method that we can call in the like next page method and also in the componented mount method. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So it'll be like get questions, and that's a method that just does the fetch. And in here we can do this dot get questions, and we call it. So that should all work the same. Yes. Nice. So what's next? We'll want to have, yeah, so like I said, we'll want to have a method that's like get, or like next page, and what this will do is a couple things. First thing it'll do is it'll set the state. This dot set state, and it'll update the page to be this dot state dot page +1, because we're getting the next page, so the page will be +1. Missing space before open brace. Oh, so many problems. Okay, there we go. So to get the next page, we set the state and then we call get questions. Oh, this dot get questions. And we'll also probably want to have a previous page method. Right? And that'll be similar. Except instead of +1, it'll be -1. Oops. And actually seeing these next to each other like this, it makes me think that actually I don't want a previous page. Maybe I just want to, because this is not very dry. Like these are doing almost the exact same thing. So maybe I want, instead of a next page and a previous page method, I could refactor this so that we're passing, what would you call this? Like passing increment. And then this is just called get page. And we don't need this. We can just be like +1 or -1 for forward and backward. And then this is actually even more flexible because then we could potentially, go forward 5 pages or go back 5 pages, which is nice. Just this one method. Okay, so we've defined this method, but we're not using it anywhere. We want to use it probably. So let's see. Maybe in all questions we'll have like I want these button or a link or something. I think I want them to look like links. So I'll use a tag and then have an onClick method that takes this dot props dot get page, and we'll pass it. What are we going to pass it? So we'll pass it 1, and this will be the next button. And if we pass it -1, it'll be the previous button. And this, I think, needs to be wrapped in a arrow function. And then all we need to do to make this work is to pass in a... Oh, the other thing I like about this refactoring is that we only need to pass one method down into the all questions component instead of passing a next and a previous. Right? We can just do get page. So where is all questions? Get page equals oops. This dot get page, and we'll need to pass I because we're passing increment as a parameter. Let's see. So hopefully at this point they don't quite look the way I want. That's too bad. Does that work? Oh, it does work. It's a little bit. It seemed like it didn't work the first time I clicked it though, right? Next, nothing changed. It called questions.json.page equals 1. What's going on here? I bet it's because set state is asynchronous. So even though we're doing set state before we do get questions, the state doesn't actually update until after this gets called. which is why the first time we click the next button, nothing seems to happen. It makes the call to, well, it calls questions.json. It makes the fetch, but page is still equal to 1. Yeah, so that would explain it, I think. Luckily, setState can take 2 parameters. It can take a callback as a second parameter. This dot get questions. And then I don't need this here. Let's try that out. So reload the page, click next, and we get the next. Nice, page 2. That is great. Okay. What else? Ooh, I bet it breaks if we call previous too many times. So it's page 1. If I do previous one more time, yeah, the page breaks and we get an error. Because we're like trying to get page 0 and page 0 is not a thing. So I think what we'll do is let new state equal something. New state. And then what I want to do is get the min? No, the max. The max. Get the max. So math.max. So this function, what it does is it takes any number of parameters, numbers, and returns the highest among them from among them. So if we do 1 or that, then new state will never get below 1, even if we click previous a bunch of times. Right? Let's try it out. Previous, previous, next, next, previous. Yeah. Okay, cool. It'd probably break. We probably want something like this, a min value. How do I get what would the min value be? Jeez, I don't know. Is there an easy way to figure this out? I don't know. Maybe. If someone clicks next enough times to get to the end, then good for them. They deserve to. It's definitely a bug that I'm going to leave in intentionally because I don't think anyone will hit it. Know that it exists, and I don't feel like fixing it. So we have pagination now. That's cool. I guess I should commit this, right? Am I missing anything? I guess I could like try to style these. Page style. Page button style. And this is an object, and it has color. I don't know what I'm doing. blue. Sure. Why is this unhappy? Unexpected token equals. Maybe it's. God, I don't remember how to do styles. I did this in another component, didn't I? Was it in this component? Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm thinking. Oh, was it this? It is this component. No. Oh gosh, darn it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh, it needs to be a constant. Of course. Of course. Constant. And it needs to be outside the class. Right. Right. But never used. String must be single quotes. Okay, so we'll use it in a second. Change that to single quotes. And then we'll do something like this on these. Maybe I should have like explored this a little bit in my browser first. Before like, I don't know. Right now I'm just kind of guessing what I want this style to be. Oh, it does work. I mean, it doesn't look nice exactly, but it's fine. Let's add a little bit of a margin here. Margin always makes things look nicer, right? 10 pixels. I am not a designer. No! What did I do wrong? This. Next. Previous. Next. Previous. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. I'm gonna commit git status git add dash p. Let's see what I've done. So we add the pagination gem. That looks good. Yes. We use the pagination gem instead of calling question.all. That looks good. We added a style to our button. We added some behavior buttons that allow us to previous and next. That looks good. This is the where we define that behavior. That looks good. And then that's where we pass it down. Yeah, okay. Git commit -m add pagination. So things are faster. So page load is faster. I don't know. Oh yeah. All right. Cool. I need to take a break. When we come back, so there's a lot to do still. When we're adding questions, I want to also be able to add answers. When we're editing questions, I want to also be able to edit answers. And we're not even displaying all of the answers yet. We're only displaying the one correct answer. So those are things to do. There's also some like refactoring that I want to maybe think about. Like, for example, I could probably make some of these things functional components instead of class components. Although even the question has state. So maybe not. Maybe it's fine to leave them as class components. Is there anything that doesn't have any state? Oh, yeah. All right. What other refactorings could we think about? We could. So when we call set state, like when we call set state and we pass an object like this, it might be preferable to pass a function. That might be a thing we could do. Oh, the other thing, like are we using prop types at all? No, we are not. So that might be a good thing to do, is to check prop types to make sure that we're passing in the right things. Yeah. The other thing is to, like, right now we're using these arrow functions in the, like, when we pass it to the, like, we're doing this binding in the render, and so this happens every time we do a render, and it would be more efficient if we did it in the constructor, because then it would only happen once, I think, and would be slightly more efficient. Although, like, I don't know, I don't think our app is necessarily slow or needs speed improvements right now, but it is a good practice to put these. Well, yeah, could be a nice thing to do. I think what I'll do is focus on functionality over like doing those refactorings. Focus on making answers editable and addable and stuff like that, and visible. Anyway, so those are things to do when we come back. For now, that's it. Bye.